heck? I'm supposed to be in Maui. I don't know. I guess maybe I teleported back to Spokane for another page-turning Tuesday with Tom. I sure miss Maui. We left off. We're talking about my mom's really trippy home movies. Down in the Dumps was probably the pinnacle of her avant-garde film experimentation, so we'll jump in there. The film, it opens with odd, quick cuts at various distances of a plastic eyeball with long eyelashes resting in the navel of someone's belly. The same near-far effect is used on images of Molly and I, who are both crammed into a single soiled wedding dress holding tattered parasols. There's more quick cuts, a shattered windshield, bullet holes on the dark side of a truck, a busted mirror, a decapitated doll's head, decomposing appliances, crystals, and our dog Portia wearing a mule-tooth necklace my mother bought at a hippie store on Haight Street in San Francisco. The plastic eyeball looks up from the bottom of a grimy toilet, then it's centered on top of a spinning umbrella. Surprisingly, the sum of all these disjointed images is fairly interesting to watch. If I were to guess what the movie is about, I'd say it was a facetious mockery of the American dream, with all these material goods lying to waste in the dump. Eventually, we all end up in the dump, deserted and discarded. Maybe the eyeball represents her worldview, although I don't really understand why it would be looking up at me from the bottom of a toilet. The movie is open to interpretation. Depending on your mood, it can be oddly humorous and mildly disturbing, or mildly disturbing and oddly humorous. The movie also includes a few seconds of Big Ray, our ranch hand, someone I didn't like from the moment he showed up on our property. Big Ray's rickety, rust bucket, piece of shit pickup truck looks like it was mauled by a dinosaur. He slides out of his seat, slams the door, and swaggers towards us with his bow-legged baggy jeans and worn-out cowboy hat. The truck backfires twice and finally dies. Big Ray's my name. He shoves his hand forward for John to shake. I'm trying to figure out what's so big about him. He's not as tall or as big around as John. He does have a large crooked nose. He has the unfortunate posture of a question mark. His head lurches forward from his humped shoulders like a vulture. His grisly, uneven sideburns end at different points on his cheeks, exaggerating the lack of symmetry. Big Ray removes his hat, wipes his brow with the back of his grimy hand. He's a sweaty mess. His greasy hair retains the shape of his hat. Oh, and his hands. It looks like he spends his days picking up razor blades from puddles of motor oil. He meets my mother and instantly falls head over heels in love with her. He can't wipe the smirk off his face or hide his puppy love in his eyes. He's absolutely pathetic. He's a slow-talking, chain-smoking ranch hand. He'll be working for John on projects like fixing fences and draining septic tanks. As they head off to scout out the work, I hear John offering to adjust the timing on Ray's truck. They return an hour later and seem to be best friends. While they're having a drink in the kitchen, Big Ray makes googly eyes at my mother, and to my astonishment and disgust, she likes it. John's clueless, but it's so obvious. They're flirting with their faces and using body language to tell each other that they're in heat. I hate coming home from school and seeing Ray's truck parked in front of our house. It means that he and my mother are alone. He's never outside working like he's supposed to be. Sometimes his delightful, homeschooled hillbilly twin kids are with him. There's a boy and a girl, although it's difficult to tell which is which. They're more like wild animals. For fun, they smash cow pies on their head and dare each other to eat progressively more disgusting things like spiders, chicken's shit, and each other's boogers. They reek of fish guts. And yet, they stare at me with their hands down their pants or each other's pants as if I'm the weird one. And for the record, I saw their mother once, the missus, Big Ray's better half. It was from a distance, and although it was brief, it was disturbing. Very much like a Bigfoot sighting. We'll drop it off there for today. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to try to get my ass back to Maui. So thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.